Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lucas and you're watching Fine Tuning. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and some honest first impressions of a new GLARRY guitar. So this is actually the second guitar that GLARRY has sent me of this kind in the past maybe 2 weeks or something. The first one I got out, I didn't do it on camera or anything, but I checked it out and it was just really bad for a lot of different reasons. The bridge was in the wrong place, the tuner was cockeyed, all kinds of bad stuff. Some really bad fret stuff. And it was just kind of, I thought, unplayable and unusable. And so I wrote GLARRY and said, hey, I don't really want to do a review on this because I don't have anything positive to say about it and I would rather just not do it at all. And they said, okay, well don't worry about it. And I thought, okay, well that'd be the end of it. But then they wrote me back about a week later and said, hey, let us send you another one and see what you think of this one. So that's what we have here today. So we're going to unbox this today and I'm going to give you my honest first impressions as we go of, you know, everything from how the guitar is packed to how it looks to the way things are put together, any kind of defects or faults in workmanship that I see or maybe don't see, we'll find out. And the reason is that this is a very inexpensive guitar and amp set, so if you are thinking about learning how to play guitar or you have a loved one who you're going to purchase a guitar and amp for, this is something that you might be considering because it's a very inexpensive piece. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on it and you can kind of take that for what you will. Alright, so we got the tone knife because the tone knife is better for opening boxes than tone scissors. Tone scissors are great for envelopes, tone knife, good for boxes. So this appears to be like what I would call a box with a lid type box. So I'm just gonna run the knife down and then do it on the other side. Okay. Just remove the lid here. Okay, so we're doing the Russian doll thing here. This is this is a box inside of a box. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Now I can see some stuff. So let me hold it up. This is what it looks like. This is the guitar. That should be the amp. And so far so good. Looks like it's relatively well packed. I don't really care too much about whether this amp is good or not. It's a moot point, you know, with an amp this small, it's just probably not going to sound good, so I'm not really concerned about that. I'm more concerned about the guitar. Here is the guitar. So we're going to put the rest of this box over to the side. So, of course, it's wrapped in what I refer to as the guitar condom. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here we go. It is a kind of a 3-tone sunburst telly type guitar. 3-tone sunburst on the front, black on the back. It's got a maple neck with a maple fingerboard. Just a very typical telly type guitar. They have since had to change the headstock because they had, for a while there, they had the kind of Fender headstock look, and I guess they got probably sued into oblivion about that. Which is funny because I think this actually kind of looks a bit like a Sir headstock. So I'm surprised Sir hasn't come after him. So we got some finish blemishing happening here. There it is. It's a little chip right there. So I can't tell if that's like a divot or if it's like a chip that someone filled in with some black paint. But it's not great, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's lots of light hazing from kind of wet sanding type stuff on the back here that wasn't really totally buffed out. But again, you know, keep in mind this is a very inexpensive guitar, so that's not, you know, a huge deal. It's more like, does the guitar work? That's, you know, does it work in a way that is conducive to a learning guitar player? Let's just tune it up to pitch and see what happens. Okay, so as I'm tuning it up, the tuning keys do feel kind of like they're pretty low ratio, and they're kind of a little bit unstable. They sort of jump, which is not great, but again, it's a very inexpensive guitar. There is a little bit of relief in the neck. The action is very high. So I'll just get my gauge out here and tell you how high. So yeah, it's 140 thousandths. Yeah, it's 140 thousandths at the 12th fret on both E strings. It's pretty high. I can pretty easily get a 3mm pick in there, which is kind of high, I think. Frets are pretty dirty looking, honestly. Again, as I said, this is a very inexpensive guitar, so I mean, you kind of temper your expectations, but So far I'm not terribly impressed. Oh my gosh. Okay, so with the action set really high like this, I'm not getting any fret buzz, which is good. The real test would be if I were to lower it to like what I would call more of a playable action and see what kind of buzz stuff is happening there. Let's check the intonation. Okay, so I'm hoping you can hear this. So here's the 12th fret harmonic. And if I play the note, it is almost a half step sharp. Yeah, so not great on the intonation here. Okay, so yeah, so you can see the saddles here, they're not what I would call particularly intonated, and they all need to come back a lot, because I mean all of those notes are pushing a half step sharp there. Now I know some of you ornery old guys are gonna be like, well, you just adjust the intonation, you set the guitar up. I know, man, like I'm a guitar tech, this is what I do. What I'm saying is that I'm thinking that probably the people that are gonna buy this guitar are beginner guitar players, and they don't know how to do that. So, and there's no reason for them to have to take a guitar to a guitar tech as soon as they get it on Christmas morning or whatever and have to have it like totally worked on and pay $50 or $60 for it. That's ridiculous. The other thing that tells me here is, you see how far forward these are, right? These saddles. So to intonate these, you're gonna have to pull these back pretty far because it's so out. And what that means is that these screws are gonna come farther out and they're gonna stick right into your hand. It doesn't feel sharp or pointy down the side of the neck, which is good. And the frets are grungy looking. It's a little hard to tell how level they are without trying to lower the action. Let's plug it in and see if it works. Hello. Okay, well, one thing, I mean, this is an adjustment thing too. The bridge pickup is very low height-wise, and so the volume is much lower than the neck pickup in this case. Again, that's an adjustment that you can make. But I can tell from hearing it right here that the bridge pickup is microphonic. Yeah, I've heard it enough. I can tell that bridge pickup is microphonic, which basically just means if you add any level of gain or distortion or anything and you're playing with any kind of volume, it's going to make this terrible high-pitched squealing noise like you were holding a microphone in front of a speaker, which is, you know, not what you want. It kind of defeats the purpose of electric guitars. I hate to be negative. I really do. Like, I hate to do these ever, but I just think it's important that everybody that would be interested in buying something like this because of the price tag know that this is kind of a piece of junk. I gotta be honest with you. Yeah, you can probably fix most of the things on this, but I think if you have any interest in playing and you take it seriously, you would at minimum want to change the bridge because you're not going to be able to intonate these strings correctly. And even if you do kind of get it close, these screws are going to be poking you in the hand, which is very uncomfortable. I can't tell exactly how good the frets are here, but you know, my guesses are probably not exactly level. It's just that the action is so high right now, it's kind of hard to tell. The tuners feel bad. There's all kinds of finished stuff all over the guitar. There's that chip in the back, and there's buffing compound all over, and there's some dents in the back of the neck. I mean, it's kind of junky. I mean, if I'm so, you know, like I said, I hate to be negative, but I just want to be as upfront and honest as I can. I think this is a kind of trashy guitar. Can you learn how to play guitar on it? Yeah, probably. And if you are super dedicated, then yeah, you could probably beat your way through it. You could get it. You could make it work. If this is all you can do, this is what you can afford, then don't not do it just because of that. I mean, you know, if I try to just play something like this. Okay, so these strings are in tune, right? That's E. That's A. Now here, watch the intonation. That's the intonation you're working with. So this guitar will never play in tune like this. It's gonna sound like a jangly, nasty noise machine. And that's no good for you as a player or anyone who has to listen to you learn how to play. So at the moment, and they did tell me, in Glairy's defense, they did tell me that they have switched to a new factory. So this is not the same people that were building their old guitars. Because I did think those were pretty decent. The first one I got was kind of bad, but the next two that they sent me to test out were pretty good. For the money, they were pretty impressive. And there are some parts of this that I think are good. The neck profile feels good to me. And the frets, like I said, they're not sharp on the edges or anything. I can't really tell you yet whether they're level. But the hardware is trashy, and the body's not too bad if you don't mind kind of like a beater type body. Like if you want something pristine, new looking, then don't get this. But you know, if you want like a punk rock guitar, you know, this is totally fine for that. So yeah, I would have to say if you're going to spend this amount of money, it might be better spent on something else. I would not recommend this, honestly. But anyway, take that for what it's worth. I hope that's been helpful, and until next time, I'll catch you later.